here's another thing. One of the things that we gained when our brains got bigger was the ability to imagine things that we can't see right in front of us. Okay, we gained the ability to visualize, so we can visualize the future, and that gives us the ability to do all kinds of things. That give us the ability to plan ahead and make schedules. But to plan ahead, which is great, I mean, so now humans can do all kinds of things because they can strategize, they can plan ahead, they can see the future, and blah blah. And this is great capacity. However, the price you pay for that is you can imagine your own death. Ew, it's a real downside. That is the price we pay. And the rest of the animals are just going about their merry way. They're not like agonizing over their mortality. The squirrels are hanging out in the trees. They might be storing up some nuts for winter, but that's about it, right? And the birds are flying, and we're sort of jealous of them a lot of times. And spiritual traditions spend a lot of energy, a lot of time learning how to be present, be here now. Ram Dass, okay, learn to be present. And meditation is a lot about that. And we have lots of yoga, lots of practices that are all about trying to be in the present. Because we have trouble with that. And we're trying to be like these other animals that are much more able to do that. Or children. Children are good at that. But as grown-up adults, mature adults with brains like this, we are able to think about all kinds of things, and we think about the future, and we think about our death. And so the price we pay for being evolved to this point is that we have to come to terms with that. We have to make peace with that. And so that also gives rise to some of the thinking that would go into religion too, wouldn't it? Oh, well, if I'm going to die, then what? And then let's have the fear kick in, and let's think of something to solve that problem. Now, you can imagine now all these different primitive groups coming up with things to explain natural phenomenon, and then doing a rain dance to get crops going, and thinking about who might be up there, take care of them after they die. There are lots of things that would go into forming a religion to deal with all of these things, right? To cope with some of these really big issues. And it would make total sense. And if you start looking through this lens, and then you look at some of the religions, say, of the Middle East, you've got the ancient Hebrews, and then you've got the other tribes in the area. You'll see they're doing a lot of the same things. The sacrifice of animals to appease the gods. The Hebrews weren't the only ones doing that. They were all doing that. A lot of the same practices. Oh, well, maybe if we, all the appeasement and angry God and a lot of the things are very, very similar. These are primitive people facing out of control conditions, doing what they can think of to try to get a little control of their lives, because they can imagine death and they have no idea what to do about that. And other animals don't have these huge brains that can imagine the future so that they're able to relax. We're not quite able to relax like that because we can imagine the future. So what do we have to do? As human beings, we have to face and deal with somehow our existential dilemmas. And so moving on, I'm sort of done with this evolutionary psychology bit here. and going into the existential psychotherapy framework that I use in my approach to working with people, which is that what we need as human beings, basically, in order to be functional, healthy, happy human beings, is courage. Mm-hmm. Because we don't have easy answers. There's no formula. We have to have courage in the face of real life. This is it. This is our life. We live here and we die. So, as far as the existential dilemmas, and I have various people that have been role models to me in my work, and one is somebody named Irvin Yalom, who talks about 4 basic existential dilemmas, and the biggest one, of course, is mortality. To make peace with that. And people do. That's the thing. And people in religion don't realize that people do make peace with that. There are plenty of people that are at peace with that. That realize that, we're part of the animal kingdom. That it's seamless, There are, like the guy who owns this house, who's an evolutionary biologist. Okay. He studies lizards as part of the evolutionary chain, and the evolution on the amphibian level, and can see the changes. And okay, there's and mammals and birds and primates, and then there's us, Homo sapiens. It's all seamless. We're all part of this life system, and then, and you can listen to Carl Sagan and physicists, and just this amazing universe, and we're part of it, and it's really incredible. And so, and then make peace with that and actually get excited about that.